Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to do a small little bohemian embellishment that I think you will enjoy. It's a lot of fun, and we're going to basically make it out of a cotton ball and just a few scraps that we might have. Now here I have one just laid on my page in this book. It's not glued in because I'm using it for a demo, but you can see what a cute little tuck spot that it makes. And you can put it anywhere on the page and do what you want to with it, but it's just a little floral element that's made out of scraps. Okay, let me remove the book here and let you show you some of the ones that I was making this morning. Okay, it's very simple, and as I said, it is actually just made out of scraps. The first thing you start with, mine are just little squares. They are 2 by 2 of any cardstock that you have, and that's a pretty heavy cardstock. It's not just printer paper. So you know, your regular cardstock will do. I like to use solid colors because then I can lay just about anything I want to into it. Okay, so I used the orange top of this cardstock, and of course this one was solid blue on both sides. All right, then what I did was I took that base, that cardstock base, and I just laid some pieces around, pieces of lace, pieces of fabric, anything that I wanted to put on there, and in the kind of color tone, and lots of little rough edges and shreds and threads and things like that. And then what I did was I sewed those on this little piece of 2 by 2 inch cardstock. That secured that down, and I don't have to worry about them falling out. I don't have to try and glue all those little pieces and fabrics and things that sometimes don't adhere well with glue. So I did it like that. Now the flower is simply a cotton ball with a, with a brad, decorative brad that I put in the center. So you can use a brad or whatever it is that you'd like to use, but the brad is a decorative element, but it also secures that cotton ball really well to that cardstock, so I don't have to worry about it coming loose. Now, how you prepare your cotton ball is important. If you get a large cotton ball, not a little bitty one, but a normal size cotton ball, you want to cut it. As you can see, you can see how it's wrapped, okay, around this way. You do not want to cut across the wrap. In other words, you don't want to slice this circle in half. You want to turn the cotton ball and cut it with the circle. Okay, so if I turn the cotton ball and I cut it with the circle, just cut it in half. Then when you turn it around to the middle and open it up, you have this, you can see the circular pattern of the flower inside. Now you can use inks, colored pencils, dyes, whatever you have that to color these with, and I use a combination of just all of it. A lot of times just finding the color, and you can take a lot of time, or you can do this very intricately. I just dab my ink pad on there, then I come back with some markers, colored markers, and I will add some color here and there and do what I want to with that. And when you get through, you have a cotton ball that looks like this. Okay, now while you're doing all of that, it will work itself out and be bigger. Now what I also like to do is to take my cotton ball and pinch it and cut out a chunk of the center, because you don't want all that extra bulk in the center when you try to put the brad through it, because cotton, believe it or not, is very strong, especially when it's bulked up. So if you will just take a chunk out of that, you can see that you'll get a little opening there, and you can put a brad or something through it. The other thing I do now, once I have the 2-inch cardstock and the little, for me it's all fabric and thread elements, lace and things sewn to the back, then I will, after I have inked up and colored my cotton ball, I will turn it to the back and put a generous circle of glue, and then I will put that on there and press it down really good so that it glues in. All right, and then I let that dry, and you can see that the glue and pressing it down will flatten that cotton ball out for you, which is good because you don't want a great big thick cotton ball. It's too bulky for your pages. So that works really well like that, okay? Once you have glued that and let it dry, then take a punch, an awl or a punch or a big needle, and run it through the cotton ball, and so that you can make a hole all the way to the back side, and open it up, work it so you open it up a little bit, and then put your brad through it. And once you get your brad through it, of course, flatten it out on the back. And that makes the cutest little bohemian tucks. And of course, you're not limited to color or anything else. You can even dye your cotton balls in a, just soak them in dye and let them dry if you want to do that. You can do it several different ways. You can use watercolors and let them dry that way. There's just no end of different ways you can do it. I try to do it as simple as possible because when I make these up, I want to do several at a time, and I don't want to spend the all day doing it. So here's one that I have that I haven't put on a card yet, but you can see how it is colored up and ready to put the glue on and attach to a card. Okay, so that's just another little option to make a bohemian tuck to go into your books. It's not big. It's not doesn't take much supplies to make. Anybody can do this. This is something that if you don't want to use the fabrics and laces in the background, you can do papers. You can cluster some paper behind that cotton ball, and that would be just fine too. On some, I even make little paper leaves, and I'll stick one or two of those behind there. That changes it up a little bit too. So there's just all kinds of things you can do. And so have some fun with this and make a few clusters, and let me know how you like it. You can find me on Junk Journal Junction, Facebook group on Facebook, and of course here you can always leave me a comment on this video here. So have a good day, keep crafting and be creative. Bye-bye.